cocaine is illegal.
That's facts.
He didn't say no to drugs.
Look what they did to my bear. My bears are some of the most beautiful animals. They got enough strength of like 10 men, but they don't mess with us.
They go around preventing forest fires.
Hey,
Ask Smokey.
hey, you better talk to Smokey.
They definitely mess with you if they feel threatened.
But now Smokey is Smokey. So
No, they mostly run. Now you got them little body bears. They be like, nah. And they come at you. But they usually on cocaine.
Yeah. And I like that one video that's circulating of the guy who's like he's hanging from the tree and doing like his leg lifts while the other guy's like punching him in the stomach.
Yeah,
and the bear's in the background just pushing down on the tree.
What is the bear doing? That's the craziest thing.
Is he part of the regiment here? Like, what's going on?
It's the best video ever because of the bear.
You get it, bud. You get it. Come on. 10 more reps.
That's a great video.
Come on.
Welcome.
It's like you're barely
Let
trying.
me introduce myself. Tell you where I hail from.
save those jokes for me.
Those are free. They're for everyone. Community jokes.
Imagine,
So I support socialism.
imagine.
How you like your boy Hank?
Oh, I'm
No,
told.
socialism is a charged word.
I'm told I can't say nothing about it yet till we get into it.
I started recording.
I have thoughts. No, but
I started
I
recording.
was going somewhere though.
Were you though?
Yeah, I was. I don't know where I was going.
But talking about animals taking over, well, the only thing that prevents ants from taking over is their size.
That's facts.
Yep.
Imagine if, bro, the ants work harder than anybody on this earth, bro.
Mhm.
All they do is work. Hey, there's this cute bee lady on Facebook and YouTube on the shorts and everything, on different places where you find the shorts. She is cute. But dog, she is gangster. She understands the bees like the bees is like her cousins. Bro, she be dealing with the bees without the bee suit and everything. And so the video I seen her is they found like this big old like nest, but it was no bee, it was no queen in there. So she had a queen in her pocket. Like they just be like she just keep queens on her. Like, oh, I need a queen. So she put the queen. They were like, if they accepted her, all the bees gonna go into the thing, into the big bin with her and everything. But if they don't accept the queen, they gonna kill the queen.
What's the queen's name? Beyonce?
Oh,
Queen Labifa?
bro, I had a good name in my head for her too, bro.
Biana?
No, it was something close to that. I forget the name, but she is so cute.
Could be honest.
Belisa. I think she's from Belize. Okay, I'm done. But she's cute, but she give you so many facts. It's like, yo, you fine ain't got facts? She's FF.
Well, she find and has Wikipedia. Oh
I'm
shit.
telling you, bro.
Oh shit.
You telling me you
Lock
can
it
tell me-
up. Lock it up.
I didn't know I like bees. Now I like bees.
Not sure it's bees you like, dude. I mean,
Would you like to be very terrified?
Depending on what I'm terrified from.
Well, would you like to know how many ants are assumed to be on Earth?
Yes, I would love that.
At least 20 quadrillion.
That is so cool. I don't even know that number.
Or-
Get to that number.
About 2.5 million for every person on Earth.
So you telling me I can have 2.5 billion?
So
million
really,
ants?
if you think about it,
no, 2.5 million ants get you.
yeah,
Oh, I'm sweet. They will love
their
me.
size isn't keeping them from taking
All
over.
you have to do is fall
It's gotta be
asleep
something
around.
else.
That's all you have to do.
Well, they got the maneuver avocado.
All you gotta
part
do is
stuck in
fall
their eye.
asleep
They don't
around.
got that in their brain.
They don't have
Could be
any
done.
do have
That's what I'm
one.
saying. They don't got that part. That's why they can't take over.
They try. Remember my dad, we were on a construction job and we were walking from one house to the other and there was a lot in between. And there was a hill, so we went up the hill and he kind of stopped on the hill for a minute. Next thing you know, he had about 100 red ants all over his friggin' legs.
Mhm.
And they just start biting that shit out. I mean, he just stopped there for a moment.
Here's
Just
the-
imagine if you're you just can't walk, you get injured or something, that's over with.
But here's the cruel things about bees, right? I mean, about ants. The old folks used to, in the black community, the old folks used to kill them with grits. Because they'll pull a bunch of grits out on their thing, and they'll eat them, and they're all a pop.
They're 5-minute grits, are they?
I don't know,
grits.
but they expand. So that's how we used to get rid of ants back in the day. It was harmless, internet. It was harmless. We didn't put no toxins in them. What did
I just made her explode. Harmless.
Again, depends on how you make that. How they buy the grits from.
Sounds like what people used to do down here fishing in the glades. They use Alka-Seltzer. Fish goes for the Alka-Seltzer. And then they made it illegal because what happens is the fish eats it and it blows up, basically. Gets into their stomach.
And then they start
So
floating.
they said, nah, that ain't cool.
Well, the same thing with the birds.
Yeah, so they made it a law.
Y'all call us evil. We blowing up ants. Y'all blowing up birds and fish.
This is a no. What do you mean, y'all?
I ain't talking
It's
about
just
race.
a known thing.
I'm talking about outside the black community.
And then, the reason that they don't use rice for weddings anymore is because of the same thing.
Yeah.
The birds eat the rice and they explode.
Yeah.
Whatever, fuck them birds.
Pigeons just. That's crazy, dude.
I mean, it ain't an instantaneous thing. It's just like slowly their guts fucking fill up. And,
Yeah,
So
what
you
were they?
could be-
They were throwing something else but rice. They changed it.
well, they do bubbles now. That's a big one. now.
Bubbles, and I know there's something else.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
Cocaine.
I thought it was balloons.
That's harmless. It's all natural.
Start throwing bird seed at you.
Which kind of baking soda?
That would make sense.
Can
Throw
I
the
talk
bird
directly
seed.
to the bee lady?
If
If
you sign her DMs, you sign her BMs.
maybe we
Wait
get
a
big
minute,
enough on the BMs. I love it. I love it. Look at you all producing over here.
Doesn't get it. Doesn't get it.
It's got your new dream girl, huh?
She is. I'm ready to commit.
Move away from the AT&T girl.
So I'm guessing.
No, I'm not
guessing she ain't-
AT&T girl.
I'm guessing
I
she ain't
think
white.
Ryan is. No, she white.
And you still want to go? All right.
But the bees.
Oh, the AT&T
Is
girl.
she really white when
yeah.
she talk to bees though? She's bees.
I would say she's extra white.
That's the most whitest thing ever. Anyway, bee lady, listen to me. I'm gonna give you a little bit of game right now.
She pulled the queen out of pocket. Sorry, go ahead.
I can be your bee man
Yo, man.
if you could be my bee lady. You hear what I'm talking about? If you married, tell him I don't mean it, but I mean it.
Listen. He's stung.
I see what you did there.
Listen, D, I'm sorry.
There's been a lot of buzz about this.
We're not here to talk about cocks. We're not here to talk about bees or your beaches. All right.
I didn't bring up the ants though, but my bears.
We're
they're
here
my
to talk about
peoples.
ants. We're here all day to talk about ants.
All 20 quadrillion of them.
Yeah.
20 quadrillion plus.
Before we get into this conversation, can I ask y'all a question? Out of left field, but if you can be like the power represents an animal, what would it be?
What?
Like if you can study an animal and like build your party powers off them, what would it be?
How are we defining animals?
Anything that's non-human.
Okay. So I could like have water bear powers.
Water bear?
Yeah.
What's that?
That's these little microscopic creatures that are basically immortal and invincible.
And they on Earth?
Yep.
Well, then you found your city. This nigga gonna be water bear man. I mean, this dude gonna be water bear man. I'm gonna go with hippopotamus.
They have a more scientific name, which is eluding me right now.
What about you, Papa Breeze?
Tend to go toward like a mongoose.
A mongoose? I heard they scrappy.
Is that like a goose from Jamaica?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Gooseman.
Guzman.
Luis
They're
Guzman.
even hip too. You know, they're
Tardigrade, that's what they're called.
What going?
What else got?
look at
Kangaroo.
a snake and go, fuck you.
Ooh, hops.
Kangaroo.
Why is that?
ups, and the dudes are fucking jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knock a bitch out.
Yeah. And they take a good punch. Remember that dude? He squaring with one good one right to the jaw, and that kangaroo look like, where your mom at, man?
And you got a front prison wallet.
You got a pouch you can put stuff in. Oh man.
If you're a woman. If you're a woman.
Oh, the man don't have them?
No. It's for
All right,
things.
I'm changing my
That is
answer.
so
I'm changing my answer.
That is the most sexist thing I've ever
No,
heard.
that's fine. I lose a pouch, but I'm pretty sure the men are more swole.
Well, the males
Okay,
carry
forgive.
the males carry a wallet in a bit.
Did y'all
Keep
see
it up their ass.
I'll just take what I need. I don't need a pocket.
Did y'all see the way that hippopotamus had that lion running? I'm telling you, man, hippopotamus, they got power.
They're insane.
That's what I'm saying.
They're the most feared animal in the.
That's what I'm
in
saying.
Africa.
That's what I'm saying. Hippopotamus.
They're also
I'm telling you.
busted. They got like 4 teeth, man.
They're basically just like tanks that walk.
Man, listen.
And swim.
And swim.
If you really look at history,
They're
the
basically
most
like,
feared man was the most beautifulest man. That fear made women like, oh, okay, how ugly he is.
You and I remember history differently.
hippopotamus is basically like if those duck vehicles weren't lame.
So I'm going with hippopowers. You going
Wait a minute,
with
there was a
the,
cartoon, the hippopotamus.
Tardigrade
Remember
water
that?
bear.
There was a
I just want you
cartoon.
to hear this.
And Peter the hippopotamus, I think it was, and he was like he ran a zoo. It was a cartoon during the 70s, 60s.
Oh, I thought you were going to play something. You going to read it?
Yeah.
No,
it
we'll
was.
read it.
Okay.
Tardigrades are the most resilient animals known, with individual
His
species
squirrel was
survive
a
extreme
sidekick.
conditions such as exposure to extreme
he
temperatures,
wore
extreme
like
pressures, both high and low, air deprivation, radiation, dehydration,
looking
and
hat.
starvation
Oh.
that will quickly kill most other
Something
forms
the
of life.
hippopotamus. It was a
Tardigrades
cartoon.
have survived exposure to
Saturday
outer space,
cartoon.
and there are 1,300 known species of phylum Tardigrada.
You think they built the pyramids?
Basically, no, they're microscopic, and they
They
look
came
they look
together
like
and made a
the,
tardigrade man?
they look like the least intimidating thing you've ever seen.
Ran a zoo.
That's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
I've seen that picture before.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
They've gotten pretty famous over the last 10, 20 years.
Huh.
Well, they were in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Why come we can't study them and get their powers?
They are working on that. There was a whole joke like 3 or 4 years ago in South Park because the NFL was looking into using tardigrades as in the NFL because they're less chance of having CT.
So I don't know if we actually had seen it, but there was a thing on on Netflix, and it was like a kind of a shittily made CG show. I can't find the name of the damn thing, but it was basically the this mining company from outer space goes to this planet and they like dig up these this resource that ends up triggering a alien life form, and it's like giant tardigrades. Well, it is 100% giant tardigrades.
Tardigrade man. No, there's water bear. Don't let water bear get over here.
Is that straight closer?
Captain Water Bear.
Captain Water Bear. I love
Make
it.
My Day is what it was called. And it was made in 2023, and the CG looks like it was made in like 1998.
Perfect.
But I watched the whole thing because it was actually kind of interesting.
So they get you.
Y'all remember when they had us believing that the lions really ran everything in the jungle?
Well,
Like, I didn't go to dark places because Mufasa said don't go to the shadowy place over there.
I mean,
That's why I ain't been in New
so
York.
their reputation as being king of the jungle is more or less because they don't have any known predators. Nothing really goes after them.
it's not your fault either. James Earl Jones says, "Don't go someplace. Don't go someplace."
You know.
He's the walking green book.
Yeah, that's right.
All the light touches is ours. What about that place over there?
Bruh.
Did you see the light touching that place?
I wasn't
Hey,
going now.
listen, Simba.
I was not going.
So before we get into this discussion, what's stayed in my ears, what's stayed in my head this whole time, is a post that Ryan showed me describing what Ant-Man and Quantamania is. I don't. It's probably too hard to pull it up right now and read it, but just kind of a general gist of what that post was. Just a streamlined, like, elevator pitch breakdown of that post.
Oh shit! No, I don't even remember because it's so long ago.
So, but basically,
Like 2 days.
So, basically, is that Ant-Man and the Wasp is the most okay in the movie in the MCU.
Yeah.
It is the most okay. Well, let me finish. It is the Cars of the MCU. Cars is fine.
Okay.
It's nobody's favorite movie. It's nobody's least favorite movie.
If I were to ask you, is Cars a good movie? You would undoubtedly respond in a high-pitched response. Yeah, it's okay.
Ring up.
Yeah, it's fine. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah.
It is fine. I mean, I think there's definitely room in there for people to like it more or less. There are some things that it could have done, it should have done. There are some fantastic moments. Well, let's just go by character. Let's break it down by character. Let's just go. Our vibe is based on each character. Let's start with Cassie. Obviously, a big change. The new actress. They have their reasons. Overall, she was fine.
Yeah.
She was decent.
I like that they got to bring in a character who's wasn't hampered with a shit ton of baggage.
Yeah.
And was able to just kind of be on this wacky adventure and, more or less enjoy herself.
Yeah. I mean, and in this universe, one of the few characters that actually wants to be a hero, actually wants to make change.
But she was an intern, though, and she accepted it.
Well, no, she probably coerced her grandpa into making that suit, grandpa-in-law, so that she could fight for change. Because her whole thing, she wasn't trying to, fight villains. She just wanted to, fight oppression, fight wrong.
Are they even married?
I don't know. It's very vague. I mean, I don't think there was a whole lot of time for that.
Yeah.
I also don't. There's no indication of how long it was from the unblippening to where we are now there. So I don't know if it's 2024 for them, 2025.
I'm just saying, you don't go back in the quantum theory just for the quantum realm just for a girlfriend. That's all I'm saying.
Well, they went in because they got it was an accident.
No, they was out though, and she went back in to save him at the end.
Oh, what are you talking about? In the second one?
No, at the end.
Oh yeah.
I mean, love is love, man.
That's what I'm saying. So it had to be this ain't no, we going on a couple of dates type deal.
No, of course they've been together for a while.
Yeah.
It's just that, there's no telling what kind of time frame we're looking at, because at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, they got sucked in the quantum realm, and then he gets out, and we don't see them again until the unblippening.
Yeah.
Cassie was fine. I think overall I enjoyed a lot of her interactions, especially the interactions with the Revolutionary Army at the end.
Yeah.
She's like, my plan was pretty much get you out. Oh, okay, so you have a plan. Great. Just kind of going along with things, just excited to be there.
Yeah.
I don't know, the dialogue between her and MODOK was some grade A stuff.
I think the second main character, the third main character of the movie, there's two/third lead character of the movie with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, she got a lot of screen time, and I think they did a lot of good things with her character.
Yeah,
I didn't know I needed that much Michelle Pfeiffer.
I mean,
Michelle Pfeiffer's a great actress, and
I needed her.
beautiful. She is, as the kids say, keeping it tight.
The flashbacks, she's a little younger.
Mm-hmm.
Flashbacks, she's a little de-aging. You know what I'm
They
saying?
ain't even need to do much de-aging, I'm telling you.
Because she's just a good-looking woman.
Yeah.
She's a classically beautiful woman, and she's keeping it tight.
And you know what? I'm going to say this, bro, because I had, during the movie, I had showed Zion her when she was young. She looked better now than she was when she young. The 80s didn't do good with her.
Well, the 80s didn't.
Didn't do great with a lot of people.
Yeah.
It was very hit and miss. You were either beautiful or the hairspray got you. But I think she killed it. I mean, she did really well in the last one and just killed it in this one.
I mean, it's got to say a lot about you as a and what am I if I can actually say anything about this? But as a model / actress known for your beauty, when literally 20 years after your peak, 2 separate songs refer to you as an icon of beauty, referring to "Riptide" by Vance Joy and was it the Uptown Funk?
Imagine this.
Yeah.
She had so much power that she went into the hood and taught the kids how to be good. Black kids how to be good.
As a substitute.
I've been traced to both.
Yeah,
my
no,
lives.
I think she killed it. She was definitely a highlight of the movie.
Just walked up there and turned that seat around and
Hey, y'all
sat
gonna listen
backwards
to me.
and rapped with them.
She didn't even twerk or nothing.
Now,
She was the original. So you decided to get in trouble at school.
so you got the tension.
Yeah, so you got detention.
Michael Douglas, I think he settled into a nice little spot. Mm-hmm. Just the dude enjoying life.
Yep.
I like
Not
Mike.
overly serious. Just chill. He loves his ants, man.
Yeah.
He's just a dude who's like, man, I've been through enough shit. I like ants.
Yep.
He just owning it. Fucking. He ain't trying to save the world. He ain't trying to like revolutionize shit. He's just like, man, I fucking like ants.
Yep.
You be the hero. You save the world. I'm chilling my ants. I'm good, man. He's like, I just created a level 2 civilization. I'm fucking great.
Level 2 technocratic civilization. I will say that one of the big downsides for the movie is after they introduced his newly developed technocratic Class 2 civilization ants, they did not take the opportunity to call them science.
Science. I think we need to write Fergie. Fergie about whatever.
I will say my most disappointing part of the movie is they had nothing to do for Evangeline Lilly.
Mm-hmm.
The Wasp had nothing to do with this movie.
Well, the first one did.
I think
I said
that-
this movie.
You think
Don't
that,
talk about the original Wasp.
do you think that may have had anything to do with her? Yeah, exactly. Do you think that may have had anything to do with her being very vocal off screen?
She was vocal.
She's a very anti-vax, yeah.
Maybe. But I mean, maybe. But I mean, so here's one spot that like really annoyed me, and maybe that was the staff or the team trying to make her look like shit.
Mm-hmm.
When they're riding in and Scott's going full kaiju, and the ships are coming in, and she's like, "I got this." She literally just shoots one, and then he gets loaded by like he's getting blasted by like 30 of them, and she's like, "They're too much for me." I'm like, "Yeah, bitch, no kidding. You're one chick with fucking stingers."
Yep.
Like, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I wonder why you can't stop all the fucking spaceships.
Yep.
It was just.
What happened to Janet's powers?
Her powers?
Yeah, I remember at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, she had like powers.
She used that to kind of balance out Ghost. So, like, all of her built-up quantum energy, it was just her, like, she funneled it all into Ghost to balance her out.
I thought that they were like teasing her being a mutant, though.
Janet?
Yeah, because canonically she's a mutant in the books.
I don't know. Instead, they made her a super scientist when she wasn't that in the comics.
Yeah.
So that's her mutant power now. She's a super scientist.
Scientist.
She opened up a portal to another universe. Well, on a computer she should have had minimal knowledge of.
But wasn't Scott supposed to be really, really smart too?
Nope.
No, Scott's
He's dumb as hell.
Really?
He has like engineering background, but
Oh,
like,
engineer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
not
like that line where like they know nothing at all.
Yeah.
Like that's perfect. Like that was a perfect answer.
Cassie building this thing is kind of like out of character too.
Yeah.
But
I mean, again, I think we can assume mom and grandpa did most of the work,
Yeah.
and I helped.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, okay. So I wasn't aware of the off-screen. So I mean, I don't follow much. I mean, I just know that popped in my feed. So yeah, I mean, that would make some sense. And you know, it's at the point they're at now. You can't just you're not going to blacklist her in the movie and pull her out.
Well, I think like it may not have been as much as like apparently it's stuff for Letitia Wright, but it was enough that it did make news several times.
I knew nothing about it till just now. That's crazy.
But yeah, I mean that at least makes some sense as to why then she did nothing in the movie.
Oh,
She
no.
just followed around her mom the entire time, and then did nothing to help Scott. She did nothing.
Yeah.
She knew that something was up with her mama, though. She was like, "Mama." Her facial expressions was like spot on.
Yeah, but she did nothing about
anybody
it.
could have done that.
But she didn't. And she did nothing about that.
Yeah.
It's fine. She's It's it's disappointing from where she was in the first two films to where she is now. It's a little disappointing. So that had something to do with at least that makes sense.
Yeah.
At least that gives some reason. Unfortunate, but at least it gives some kind of reasoning. Paul Rudd was fine.
I was underwhelmed about the character.
I think they reined him in a lot. I think because they the reason why this is such the most okay movie is because they didn't go far enough anywhere. Like, they didn't play up him wanting to avoid heroics. They didn't play him up wanting to, like, be an overprotective dad, or being, like, dumb, or being, he was just there. Like, we get a chance to try to find it online. Again, they got there like 20 minutes late, so they missed out. Like, there's a bunch of fucking setup in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We didn't walk in until they were already activating the signal.
Yeah.
So he missed all that in the beginning. I still haven't seen the first like minute where the flashback.
She's like going into the quantum realm and trying to make a life for herself or whatever. Post.
Yeah, yeah. Because Ryan and I walked in when they were like when she was just meeting Kang, and then there was like same thing again. There was fucking no previews. They just fucking got right into it. Mm-hmm. And but he accidentally pulled up the extreme unrated version.
Yeah.
No difference.
Wow.
No difference.
Wow.
No difference.
Could that just be like because of they have the thing now where they have like the extra wide angle?
Maybe.
Maybe.
But yeah, I mean, there was. I mean, the only scene where it could have been any more extreme was that fucking destruction by Kang on Paul Rudd's face.
Yeah.
That fucking the sparring match before Creed 3.
Yeah.
That was fucking great. Which leads me to
wait. I got some thoughts on the Ant-Man character.
The little Ant-Man character, or the big one?
Scott. I thought he was underwhelming. I thought that I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't have missed him if he wasn't in the movie.
Really?
I wouldn't have. A lot of maybe
they
jokes,
they didn't give him enough to do. They didn't let
maybe
Paul
the
Rudd be
jokes,
Paul
I
Rudd.
don't know, but
So,
they could have literally took Ant-Man out.
He played
and
the
just-
straight man, which is weird.
I read some stuff about that, which theorizes one of the reasons why I think that the Rotten Tomatoes score may have been so bad. Which obviously Rotten Tomatoes is a culmination of different critics, so it's not like a definitive thing. It's just amalgamating scores. But Paul Rudd was not given a writer's credit on this movie, whereas the previous two Ant-Man he was on the writers.
Yes. I was hearing too, I think, because he was fighting to make this a smaller movie, no pun intended. Mm-hmm. He wanted it to be MODOK still, but them fighting AIM. So it wasn't like...
Would have been better.
It would have been. But they... again, the machine wanted Kang to kick it off.
And that's the thing, is like, unfortunately for as great as fucking Jonathan Majors was, it just focused way too much on Kang. It wasn't an Ant-Man story, it was a Kang story.
I thought I loved everything between him and Michelle Pfeiffer. I loved them too.
So now I will get into that. I think while I didn't get enough, the little time we had with him, Jonathan Majors killed it.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, like, that scene at the end when he's like,
all those.
when he's talking to Janet and she's like, trying to brag, and he's like, haven't you learned? It's never finished, or it's never over, or
it's never over.
And then he turns, and you see the tears coming down his face.
Yeah.
Because everything he's been fighting for is fucking going away.
Yeah.
It was so weird, but I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know I needed to see Kang cry. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors, you beautiful bastard.
He is so talented, bro, from the way he walks.
I still love that that scene in Lovecraft Country. Does Mama know?
Does Mama know?
It's such a good moment. It's like, it's like,
Bro.
man can act.
Bro.
He is such a good actor. He made green and purple look good.
Yeah.
That cape was drippy.
Bro,
Well,
I
that
was
was-
scared a little bit.
I'll be honest with you, like, that's the best they could have done with that costume. Like, it's a kind of a goofy ass costume, even though it's very simple.
Yeah.
But like,
He's even goofier in the comics. So
yeah, well, because he's meant to look kind of like an old, like an ancient king or a Roman emperor, where he's just like got these draping, flowing robes, and he has like a headpiece and the shoulder pads, and like, and they took a version of that and they made it a lot more like practical, like where it still kind of gets the look and has a very regal look to it, but it also looks very effective.
Yeah.
Like proper armor.
What I thought was, this is dumb. This is dumb for me specifically. I loved when he starts like when he's floating down to start killing people,
Yep.
and as he's about to start shooting, his armor like comes in a little bit to give him more
arm room.
more
Range of motion.
range of motion. There we go, range of motion. That's hilarious. Like that suit is great. That is a great suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Major's killed it, and then we've been in spoiler territory for a hot minute now.
Yep.
His 3 Kangs.
Yep. The Immortus, Scarlet Centurion, and Ramatet.
Yeah, I don't particularly care for Scarlet Centurion's look.
Nope.
And I'm coming around to the crazy ass, raspy ass voice for Immortus.
Yeah. Well, this is the millions of years old.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? That's I think the problem with this movie is that it's a hard start to the thing because they used it as a tool and not a vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like we're not driving the development of the characters, we're not driving the development of anything. We're just, hey guys, remember Kang? Here he is again.
Just him.
I mean, and this is one of those things that, like, really, they could have just done, like, a special on Disney Plus. I mean,
That's what I was thinking. Maybe like a 6-episode type deal.
well, it's coming a special event, like Werewolf at Night.
No, I would like the 6th episode because you could have dig more into her when she. Like, I want to know.
Oh,
what
no.
was going on.
I'm going back to the original idea. Kang shouldn't have been involved in Ant-Man.
I'm going where he should be.
They could
They
have
don't
done
cross
this.
over.
They could have done this as, I think, something between what the two of you guys are talking about. Maybe like a 3-episode thing, like a mini series.
I was thinking miniseries.
Rather than it being focused on Ant-Man, make it about the quantum realm. You know, it could be a microverse, mini series. Spend a little more time with these oddball characters. Still tie in the Ant family and kind of have them be like the tether to the rest of the Marvel universe.
Think about
But
just
focus on the quantum realm and Kang.
what little time we had there when Kang killed the man with the power head.
Yeah.
And their reactions, his friends, like there was so more emotions in there. I want to know why. You know what I mean? That would be a good episode in there. There's so much you could have did with this right here. I felt like this was sloppy.
Well, that's fine, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Kang should just been his own thing. Like, if you don't want to do the Infinity Saga and just keep Thanos to post credit scenes, like really, I mean, Kang, you could have easily developed the Kangiverse as just post credit scenes. But if you don't want to do that, then fine. Yeah, fine. Do an event, do a mini series, whatever, and give him time to breathe. Like, really be able to show people who he is. And yeah, have him in the quantum realm fighting the quantum people.
Yep.
I have zero problem with that.
Who banned Kang?
We can just
that
call
would be
them
a
Micronauts.
great part of the story to see why he was banned.
We won't get sued. We can just call them Micronauts. We won't get sued. They were the Micronauts. Like, they really were.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's a lot they could have did with that. It's a lot they could have did. And I just think, first of all, I love the focus between him and Michelle. That was Michelle acting was amazing, phenomenal. I didn't remember her being such a good actress.
But you remember Dangerous Minds or whatever.
I was also like
Yeah.
12.
Yeah. It stuck with you.
But I would like to, and to me, Scott. Okay, so at the end of the movie when they eating cake and when he's picking up the cake and he's walking, he was like, "But did he die though?"
Yeah.
Like that was.
I like that they had an ending that was very ambiguous.
Like, but you could have set him up as the new Tony Starks. Not Starks.
Ooh.
Scott Lang. I'm talking about from the standpoint of like, okay, Avengers, this is it's something coming. You get what I'm saying? Not from the standpoint of him being like
now,
intrigued.
optimistically, he hopefully will say something to somebody. Mm-hmm. But also, I don't know how much they're really engaging him because I don't think any of them took him too seriously.
Well, they should now that he's the one who basically fucking brought them all back from the brink.
Yeah, but I think even there, even they realize, because they're going to see I'm sure they saw security footage.
Yeah.
It was a fucking accident.
Sure, but
no, I'm not saying he's a joke. I'm not saying they think he's a joke, but I think they just think like he's like a guy.
Yeah.
But doesn't this start the gang dynasty? Like when it comes down to the movies,
right? Well, and that's I think my biggest disappointment in this movie.
and then we got saying
This is the first movie that I think was again. I'm not gonna say first. Sorry, the first one in a while. And again, this is coming from a Marvel stand that it was really brought down by having to be a cog in the system.
Yeah.
If they just let it be an Ant-Man movie, and again, no pun intended, be a smaller stakes movie, where again you're dealing with AIM, who's trying to deal with the quantum realm, and they end up making a MODOK, or they end up pulling Darren out of the quantum realm, and he is a MODOK. Mm-hmm. Whatever it might be. But like...
Or pull him out of the quantum realm and make him MODOK.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, forcing Kang in there, because again, like, he's too much. He's too much of a threat.
What?
It would be like on paper. It would be like without Mjolnir, just Captain America trying to fight Thanos.
Yeah. So, from my perspective, I don't think that he was connected to the bad guy. I think he was just a little piece of. To me, he was more of a warning than anything. This Kang, I think he was more of a warning than anything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I mean, we got the warning last year or 2 years ago in Loki.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about in movie form. That's true too.
Just keep post credits.
Yeah, you true. They got in Loki. I don't know, but I'll
be honest. He was more threatening as he was left. He was left behind, or he who remains. He was way more threatening there.
But that's what it's supposed to be. He's supposed to be getting worse and worse and worse.
But he didn't. He was worse. He was more threatening in his first appearance.
Yeah.
As he who remains.
I don't think so.
Okay, we disagree.
He was fun as he remained.
Well, that's kind of why he was more threatening. It's because he just was like, none of this affects me.
He's fighting two gods, and he's like, "What are you like? You're here. Congrats. I knew you were coming. I let you come here. What do you want? I'm letting you exist. You have a choice to make."
But this version of him was like really like it's not even so much physically it was amazing and scary, but it was just like the possibilities. Like I really believe they shouldn't have killed him. I really believe they should not kill this Kang.
So
I don't really think
here's part of the problem I have with. So here's part I have with this, and I think that's part of the problem is that having the Council of Kangs immediately say he was killed. It throws an unnecessary finality to it. Even if he's not dead, okay. So now these people that we're supposed to be super afraid of are wrong. Now that throws doubt on their entire existence.
That's facts.
So here's again another example of why this movie was forced. When he comes down on his floaty disc to start killing people like fucking nothing, fucking laser beam shooting everywhere. That same energy he's shooting Ant-Man and the Wasp with, they don't die. They just get pushed back.
But that's because of the suits, right?
No, the suits are just suits.
Yeah. Could it be because of the pin particles?
We're never told the suits are made with pin particles. They're just suits
just
to
mean,
help.
like they have residual pim particle energy or whatever because they're shrinking and growing and everything like that.
Okay, so just give it. So just give all the Avengers pim suits, and that'll protect them from Kang. So now Kang's not a threat anymore.
They did that once. Well,
Well,
I mean,
that
he still beat that shit out of him anyways.
But that's
Look,
that
he
version of
punched
Kang.
the fuck out of him
Well,
because Scott is the weakest Avenger.
And that's the part I have a problem with this too. Like he showed no character growth, like in fighting and nothing like that.
Who?
Scott Lang.
Well, again, he's fighting a fucking immortal fucking god. He shouldn't have hit him as many times as he did. It should have just been him getting knocked the fuck out, bleeding everywhere profusely, and just timing out.
But then that means then Ant-Man shouldn't exist. Then he shouldn't be a hero. Cause these supposed to be some of the if you're an Avenger, that's supposed to be the Earth's mightiest heroes. He's supposed to be mighty, though. Like I ain't saying he's supposed to beat Kang, but he should look impressive against him. It should be like a sweat to beat him.
I don't think you watched the same movie. Like again, you saw the things Kang did. Kang should have just froze them.
I understand that Kang is powerful, but what I'm saying is Ant-Man should be on some level of Kang.
No, he shouldn't.
Not.
He never was. Never has been. That's why they shouldn't be fighting.
Huh. So he shouldn't get his own movie.
Who?
Ant-Man.
He shouldn't be fighting Kang.
he can have his own movie. So
You realize Kang is like one of like the three strongest things, like
No,
outside of like cosmic entities in the Marvel universe.
No, I get that. I'm not saying. I don't know. Maybe.
Scott's not even the strongest Ant-Man.
yeah,
that's wild. That's wild. That's wild.
he's not even the strongest Ant-Man. He's not even like one of the stronger Ant-Man adjacent people. Like Lawrence Fishburne's character Goliath, who for a long time was like one of the more badass versions of the Ant people. He can have his own thing. That's like saying that Hawkeye didn't deserve his own thing. They do different things. They have different specialties. His thing is he's the thief.
But Hawkeye didn't fight gods. You know what I mean? He fought like the best humans, the best what the humans had to offer.
Right. He shouldn't be fighting gods.
Okay, then, so yeah, you're right. So going back to your original opinion, Kang shouldn't have been in this movie.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. Then
Not in the capacity that he was.
okay, I agree.
Yeah,
with
no,
that.
like if you want to have him as like the background threat or the one pulling the strings,
Yeah.
like have MODOK be the real villain, but Ant-Man is so beneath him, he's not even getting involved personally. But again, but they wanted to give Jonathan Majors a chance to flex and show his rage, his stoicism, his and even like those again the moment where he's like, "Are you the one with the hammer?" Like he's showing you that he's fought a version of Avengers so many times he can't even tell who's who.
Yeah.
And
He can't tell Ant-Man isn't Thor.
I mean, I think he chooses that. I think he knows exactly who Ant-Man is.
Oh, probably.
And I think he chooses Thor to show that like
I
the
think
strongest
the
among them is
yeah.
not your threat. Is not a threat.
Yeah.
So he actually thinks that Thor is the strongest Avenger.
Point break.
In some continuities, well, Thor is definitely the most powerful Avenger.
Yeah.
Outside of maybe Scarlet Witch under certain continuities again. But if you're talking like fucking Rune King Thor and shit like that, then right?
What is it?
Probably with sirens.
Under my understanding, sirens means
Because he later calls him Ant-Man without actually like
Yeah.
finding his name, so he knew he was Ant-Man. He just
well, no, he said Scott
He's fucking with
Lang.
him. He's fucking with him.
yeah.
He didn't
No,
say
he
he said
said,
Scott
"What's
Lang.
it gonna be, Ant-Man?"
Oh yeah, he did say Ant-Man. It was MODOK, Scott Lang.
Yeah, it's. With that being said, with the wrong villain being used, it's still fun.
I would have liked this. I'm still want to see more of like Michelle and her being in there. They should do something with that. I think that would be good to see her inside the quantum realm before all this happened, like a prequel.
I think their chance was just that beginning part. Like we're kind of past that point now. I mean, because now if you're going back and showing her as like the revolutionary and all that, like that would have been great as a special event during like the movie or during before or after the movie comes out. Show like a flashback episode or special of her like being a resistance fighter. Like after she gets out of Kang's presence there, and then goes and works with Bill Murray, works with the other ones, creates the the Resistance. But the whole ass movie, I don't think it carries enough weight.
Well, I was saying, yeah, you're right. Me show or something like that. I don't know, but I just think like to see why they feared him down there, to see how that growed and all that'd be kind of cool.
Well, you could see why. I mean, because they were
like a fucking army of
a very straightforward. I mean, again, while we don't know specifically, they weren't exactly a super advanced species or a group of species down there.
Yeah.
But they were, they got along well enough. They weren't in the Stone Age, but they weren't building high rises.
Yeah.
They were just doing their thing.
Their buildings were just alive.
You can drink.
Your building's dead?
Goo.
That was funny. The ooze.
You can drink the ooze and understand different language. That's kind of cool right there.
Yeah.
Let me get some of that.
Oh, funny enough, actually, I found out. So my biggest disappointment beyond, a few things. My actual disappointment, what they should have done this whole time, I'm stealing this directly from Mr. Sunday Movies. They should have had Michael Pena in there.
Yeah.
Michael Pena should have been there, got separated from them, and then when we find him later in the movie, he's like the king of the ants. Or he's like the king of like some group that comes in and helps out. Just because he talks so quickly that he just confuses all of them.
Oh my goodness! Can you imagine T.I. in the corner?
But that being said, David Dastmalchian was in the movie.
Yes.
Can y'all imagine T.I. down there?
Didn't he do something stupid recently?
Probably.
I don't know. But no, they should have. Yeah, that would have been.
Michael Pena should have been there. It's nice to hear Dastmalchian, but really needed Michael Pena. Man, like.
If they just had like a.
Or Randall Park.
Well, Randall Park was it?
I mean, like in the quantum realm, like one of them should have been in there with him.
It would be kind of funny if they just had a Micronauts version of Michael Pena.
Would have been great. I would have been perfectly fine with that.
Yep.
Such a weird fucking movie.
Yeah.
But like not weird enough. There weren't enough sets. It was too much green screen.
Yeah. If you go into this movie just wanting to go and have a fun time watching, these characters that you don't really have that much of an attachment to, but find entertaining, interact with these weird creatures and interesting scenery and everything like that, you're going to have a much better time than if you think it's going to be like the next, Civil War or the next, like, I don't know, what's a good example of a movie that really kind of bridged a lot of things? Like...
Loki?
Well, that was a TV series.
I mean, Civil War was kind of that.
Mm.
Maybe Ultron.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange in the post-credits.
Yeah. Even Ragnarok.
I mean, this one, like I said, this is the first one in a while that like was just really forced to be set up.
Yeah.
It was just forced to show off Kang and show off Jonathan Majors.
Mm-hmm.
And while I'm not mad about it, I'll take as much Jonathan Majors as I can.
I bet you will. The post-credit scene was with him. All the Kangs was amazing.
Council of Cross Time Kangs.
It was almost like as if those three was ruling over them and they knew who they was.
Yeah.
Well, I think the ones who are there, they're all aware of the others.
Yeah.
How do you stop that? If that was an army.
An army of Jonathan.
Well, and I think that's what you'll have to think about, because while there are exceptional versions of Kang, they all have the ability to go through the multiverse, to time travel. They have advanced tech. The worst Kang in that group has way more advanced tech than anything Iron Man had.
Yeah.
So that's what like the Kang Dynasty and things like that in the comics, where you're dealing with multiples. That's a problem because one was an Avengers level threat.
Army of them. An army.
Mm-hmm.
Only way you can do that is like get an army of the Avengers from themselves.
got Secret Wars coming.
I don't know much about Secret Wars.
Well, the most recent Secret Wars involved bringing a bunch of different multiverses together, and then basically like destroying all of them, and making like everybody on one multiverse.
Well, that was Loki we're talking about, right?
More or less. In the comics, the end of it was just like the two remaining multiverses kind of like collided, but the main multiverse, the main 616, was saved. But a lot of the characters jumped over. Well, some of the characters.
So that's how you bring Iron Man back.
That's how you bring the X-Men in. That's how you...
They will not wait that long to bring the X-Men.
I thought they had like... There's something about the actors had a certain amount of time on their contracts, and that's why Disney's waiting it out.
I thought that ended next year.
It might be. But when is Kang Dynasty coming out?
2028.
Yeah, wow.
It's like
a while.
Could be wrong, but
2026, I think.
I think Phase 5 is like 3 to 5 years. I mean, I don't remember exactly how long it is. Especially now that they're pushing back movies, so they're only going to do 2 a year or 3 a year. Maybe. They're reducing the projects for each year.
2025. 2 years.
Oh, 2 years.
For King Dynasty?
Yep.
Okay. The Secret Wars in 2026?
2026, Secret Wars. So 3 years. That's enough time to wait out the contracts and start signing people in for their new ones.
Oh, there are people, I mean, with NDAs on contract, I'm sure. Just waiting to announce.
Yeah. Probably they shot a couple scenes.
But regardless, it's ways to bring in
Everybody.
multiple versions of, like, most famously, that was how we got one universe with Peter Parker and Miles Morales together.
Oh, nice.
Because it was the Ultimate Universe folding into the main line Earth 616.
Yep.
And then through the process, Doctor Doom becomes a god by stealing Beyonder's powers, and then does a bunch of crazy shit. And there's a bunch of splinter problems that happen from there. And then they somehow make him give up the powers. And then they fuse the worlds, and then we got Miles and Peter Parker together. And they're both called Spider-Man.
And somehow also a Old Man Logan. Briefly.
Yep. But some weird shit. But yeah, Secret Wars. It's a lot of shit happens. Again, obviously they can't do everything because it takes into account of 20 to 40 years worth of comic storylines.
Even those contracts was with Fox, they still can't get out. They still can't cut them.
Yeah, they got a contract. If they're making X-Men movies, these people need to appear in them.
Yep. And it probably isn't worth buying them out.
Nope. So they just wait them out because they got other things that they need to build up and everything, anyways. And then they can rewrite the contracts, keep the actors that they want if they want any of them, and then recast who they want in their new roles.
So say if you had a company, right, and your workers had a contract, but I buy your company, I got to keep your workers?
Depends on the contracts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, again, now, like, something like a business is usually clever enough to have things in there where if the company is bought or sold, there's a buyout or a purchase out, or you can, they can decide on this or that. There's usually things worked into, like, the super fine print.
Typically some kind of a severance package.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't expecting Fox to be bought. So those things weren't built in. Because they were happy making mediocre movies forever.
Yeah. They were happy with their whatever money they made on Dark Phoenix.
Oof. But can you imagine? They were like every day filming it and writing it and making it. They're like, this is going to be good.
Yep.
I'm happy I'm here.
Yep.
When's the next one? What?
Yeah.
Like, they filmed that and they're like, oh yeah, this is good. We're doing good things here. Are you there? Are you there? Are you there?
Yeah. Well, There is an interesting thing to think about when bringing all of this into consideration is that Deadpool 3, there's a lot of talk about it being Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe.
That would be kind of cool.
Well, it brings up an interesting idea of like, what if they have this thing happening where, you know, Deadpool kills the Fox Marvel Universe, and that somehow leads into the Incursions, which are part of Secret Wars.
I think isn't Deadpool 3 like 2025 also?
Probably.
I'm not sure there's a release date for it, but I want to say it's probably, I mean, time-wise, because they've only, they're still pretty early in the process. Yeah, I mean, Deadpool has
2024.
So
that's the latest one.
He's got 2 major storylines over the last 20-plus years. Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, and then, I forget the name of the storyline specifically, but the title was more or less just Deadpool Corpse, where it was just the multiverse of Deadpools. And it's one Deadpool trying to kill all the other ones. So in Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, that shit's crazy because one of the Deadpools takes his self-awareness and fourth wall breaking and realizes he's in a book and just goes and just starts killing everybody. Like, it's fucking insane. I got it somewhere in a box somewhere. It's
he got too smart for his britches.
It's insane.
So, here is one of the plot summaries. A weary Wolverine finds himself recovering from his injuries when he comes across a loudmouth Deadpool, who has time traveled forward to heal his greatest pal and hopes to befriend the wild beast and to team up to take down a foe they both have in common.
Ooh, the beast dude.
I was talking about Wolverine.
No, I'm saying him and Wolverine gonna team up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, to take down.
That's not like a secret thing. Like they said that Hugh Jackman is coming back for Deadpool.
No. I'm trying to see who they will kill, who they want to take down.
No idea, but Emma Corrin has been cast as an unnamed villain, specifically believed to be the main villain, and she is from The Crown, My Policeman, Lady Chatterley's Lover, 10% Anna X, Misbehavior. She's on Pennyworth.
Good for her.
So I don't know any of these fucking movies. I'm aware of The Crown.
I don't know, whatever. Deadpool's never had, like, a major villain.
No. Well, Ajax, but...
That was trash.
Yep. But
He always does better just kind of bopping around the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
He banters well.
Yep.
Well, he banters. So, overall, I'll give Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantamania and the Kangs 6.
I'll give it a 7.
All right.
Just because I really enjoyed the zaniness. I wish there was more Quantum Realm shenanigans.
It did need more.
It got a little too serious a little too quickly, which is not really good for an Ant-Man movie.
Yeah, it wasn't very funny. I think that's what really what brings it down for me. Is like there are moments. I think like if you really think about it, outside of like like the okay scene and like the stuff with Darren, it was a pretty serious movie.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Bill Murray scene wasn't very strong.
No.
I'm gonna be honest. This movie was a lot more underwhelming than I expected. I wanted more. Maybe I shouldn't have wanted
he's
more.
Going negative. I love it. Dark D.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5. Man.
Oh,
Wow.
that's what she said. All right.
I wasn't. I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought it'd be more. To me, Jonathan and Michelle saved the movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like I would have wanted to see a movie just about them two and them being in the quantum theory over this movie. I thought Ant-Man was trash in this movie. I thought his daughter was cool, but she was learning on the job. She can be Avenger one day, but she got a lot to go. I thought Modak was funny. Him dying, thinking that he's an Avenger, that was everything. That took the movie around for me. I didn't like the fact that the ants. I don't know. I thought the way they explained, I was expecting more. I did love the ants got involved. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I think what hurt too was that again you missed that part where they introduced the ants. I was like, well, they don't spend a lot of time. They do spend like a minute discussing like the techno improved ants.
What that was in that was that the part I missed?
Yeah,
in the beginning.
You missed a bunch of exposition in the first 15 minutes. A bunch. Like all the in jokes and all the references to his book and all the stuff.
No, I got that. I kind of figured that part out, the book part.
There was a lot more. That was a lot more subtle. But all that stuff there, and even like that walk at the end where he's like talking about like, well, some of that was in the trailer, but there was a lot of things happening in the very beginning that made it. It was setting up to be a very good movie. Between the flashback, Ant-Man's walk down the street, and the book reading, like was setting up to be a very good movie, and then that ended up being like the higher points for a lot of like the humor and things like that. You know, where he's like he stopped on the way to get coffee, on the way to the book reading, he stopped for pictures, but all the people want pictures of is him and their pets.
Yep.
Let me change my rating. For entertainment value, I thought it was very entertaining. But as someone who understands the MCU universe, I thought it was underwhelming.
And I think that's kind of the problem, though. Is that, like, the MCU has gotten to a point now where they can't just make fun movies and just, you know, enjoy it. I mean, really, we kind of started seeing this with this year's shows.
Yeah.
Like, people didn't like Miss Marvel. Some of that you can chalk up to was it misogyny? Misogyny and things like that. But at the same time, it was just a fun, goofy show. Some people didn't like She-Hulk. When I would say, with nearly no argument, it is the most faithful to the character that of any of the shit they put out.
It's just that She-Hulk was boring, though. She was really boring.
Have you read any of the She-Hulk comics?
But I'm saying is, you got to understand something. Most people that watch these shows, kind of like Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel was a really good show. Really good show. But it was a show about a teenager. Not a lot of grown folks are going to follow. It ain't got nothing to do with her being a woman or anything.
Again,
just a lot of people ain't going to follow that. They're teenagers. You know what I mean?
That's kind of the problem. It's like, okay, so we're going to trash this show when really, ultimately, it wasn't supposed to be the next Loki.
It wasn't for you.
It wasn't, yeah.
Yeah, but Marvel could have did a better job by saying it wasn't for you, too.
And, you know, for as much as, like, you know, Daredevil and, like, the Netflix Daredevil and things like that, kind of leans into the serious side of lawyerism. This, you know, the She-Hulk show leaned into the goofy side of it. And yeah, it's not going to be exciting. It's not going to be a mile-a-minute direct down knockout fight. It's not going to have, you know, your hallway fight scenes. It's going to have, you know, brief moments of you know, punch-ups and things like that. Yeah. And then some sort of comedic comment on it, because that's what She-Hulk was. She-Hulk was kind of looking at the absurdism of comics and being like, guys, this shouldn't be taken too seriously.
So I'm gonna say this now, I'm probably gonna get canceled. But She-Hulk was a show that was a woman show. It was men. We like the action. She didn't want nothing to do with the action because normally women. You get what I'm saying? It was so I didn't have a problem with the show. It just was too boring for me from the aspect of like I when I think of comic book movies and shows, I think of some point being actions, but a lot of action.
I would ask.
That's the only thing I have.
Did you go into watching that show expecting it to be action?
I did.
That's probably the problem.
but I did not know any otherwise. Like I thought that's what they were doing.
The trailers were pretty straightforward.
Yeah. This thing has been touted as being the MCU version of Ally McBeal. Like
I don't know what Ally McBeal is.
Well, that's the other thing. It's not for you. It's not like
I think
No,
that,
I don't have a problem with that, but I'm saying it wasn't sold like that. It wasn't for me. They could have did a better job.
well, they're not going to tell you you can't watch this show, but they are going to say, you know, hey, this is a funny lawyer show with occasional, you know, fights, and to you're going to think, Daredevil. You know, I'm going to see some fights and I'm going to see some things like that, yada yada. But it's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be, you know, kind of a goofy show. And not very exciting, but to actually have certain things to say about comics as a whole.
yeah, I think you actually are kind of the perfect MCU fan.
I am.
I'll
let you know that.
The common world MCU fan who makes assumptions and doesn't look into it.
Nah, that's not fair.
That's what you did for both these shows.
There was nothing to look into though.
What are you talking about? Shield's been around for over 40 years.
Yeah.
In
Kamala's been around for over 20 years.
So this is the biggest misconception I think that most people have. Most people that look at these shows, most people that go to these movies and everything, they're not comic book fans. They're fans of the movies, and they're fans. And the reason why they're fans of the movies, and the reason why the MCU has grown to what it was, is not because they're comic accurate. Now the people, y'all get mad that when they're comic accurate or not. It's people who love these shows because of the action, because of the character they build and all that. Now, I agree. They should have did a better. Y'all didn't agree with this. I'm saying they should have did a better job at promoting this as something else because that's what it was. But they didn't want to lose the money. They didn't want to lose the fans. They didn't want to lose the people. So they kind of give us a half emotion deal where you got to go dig. Most people ain't gonna dig deep on that like y'all will.
Are you still
Do you
talking about
remember
S.H.I.E.L.D.?
any of the Shield
All
trailers?
of it. Say it again.
Do you remember the Shield trailers?
No.
They were
To be fair, I don't
they were
remember
just
none
about the
of
comedy.
trailers.
They were just about the comedy.
I'm gonna be fair.
And I think all the
remember
trailers
none of the other ones.
for Miss Marvel, it was very clearly a show for teenagers.
Yeah.
Like it was boppy. It was again we're following around a 16-year-old Pakistani girl living in New Jersey.
But what I'm saying, y'all
Who
not hearing
is
what I'm saying.
a
I'm hearing you.
Girl.
But so the part you're talking about is that same part too, where you're making an assumption because it's a comic movie, it's gonna be this.
No, what I'm saying is the people who support Marvel in the movie form support it for this. They're not gonna go and look up whether it's gonna be. No, we want to see it for this. Now, you're saying y'all did due diligence and because y'all are fan, y'all dig deeper. Y'all are fan of the movies and everything.
I'm saying you didn't first of all need to. Again, the trailers were pretty clear about it, what it was. But also on top of that, in that same regard of people expecting certain things, it's just as vocal other people saying, why do you do the same thing?
Yeah.
There are just as many Marvel heads saying, why are you doing the same thing over and over again? Honestly, Ant-Man, Quantamania is just a skinned down, less good version of like a Guardians movie.
Yeah.
Weird places, people they don't really know what they're doing, and they're just trying to figure things out. Like, in a sense, it really was just like it was trying to be like a Star Wars movie. It was trying to be a Guardians movie where just they're normal people in weird places.
I think the reason why Ant-Man is bad is totally different. I don't think that. I think this is the reason why Ant-Man was bad. They looked at Loki and seen what your boy did and the response from Loki and everything, and let's throw Jonathan Major in this, and let's make it about. And they forced something that shouldn't have been there.
That was decided beforehand.
Yeah.
You think so?
Absolutely, 100%. Because the whole, like, his thing, his city, was kind of in the background of Ant-Man and the Wasp. When they go down and find Janet stuck in the quantum realm. And, like, a lot of that was very much teased. And it is, again, I know you're talking about it's not for a lot of people who read the comics and things like that, but they are pulling from the comics. They are pulling from these things. So he has his city at the end of time, Chronopolis, which is very much what that was.
But I don't think that's not what I'm talking. Wait, what I'm talking about? I'm not talking about whether that. What I'm saying is, I felt like they you said it earlier. It just shouldn't have. He shouldn't have been there. Ant-Man shouldn't have been there. It shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been that. This, to me, the writers was lazy in trying to force something because it was easier and they thought they were going to make a bunch of money.
And I think more importantly, I think because it being a third movie in a series, they wanted to go bigger, and with that, they've tied Ant-Man so concretely to the quantum realm that if he doesn't go to the quantum realm, people are going to get pissed off, or they think people are going to get pissed off, and because they want to make Kang as being the ultimate bad guy of this saga, or at least this phase. They chose, instead of doing post credits or doing things throughout the thing, they're just doing it here. They're doing a big focus on him now, and then maybe they can just ignore him for a couple movies, or have even smaller post credit scenes. This movie in particular is all the things people complain about Marvel being formulaic, because it just checked boxes. This movie just checked boxes. There was no reinvention, no character growth. It was just introduce a new young character, do wacky stuff, make dick jokes, make one of your villains goofy, and then an explosion at the end.
Yeah, it could have been a lot better had, like you were kind of referring to earlier, is like make it so that he maybe he's not the last fight. Like he something happens to where he gets blocked off or gets shut out.
Yeah.
But he never really enters the fray.
They could have made MODOK the villain.
They should have.
With him in the background.
Kang would have had a whole an actual like top tier group of like people doing his dirty work.
Yeah.
Like would have had MODOK along with like other people with abilities.
Exactly.
Like there would have been an evil version of that guy with Laserhead.
Yep.
There would have been things like that where like he has his own army, his own generals doing his dirty work. Like all this stuff is beneath. Scott Lang is beneath the Conqueror's time.
Yeah.
He would have had to get his hands dirty. He would have just been sitting in his tower, waiting.
Scott Lang is beneath the Conqueror Kang.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to say.
But then you could have had it where Scott in the next movie, like and going to a whole nother, like maybe doing the Avengers or do like you did with where you bring the Avengers in the corner ring in the Gruner Theory, and then they fight off that Kang, and then the other Kang's like, yo, there's a team, they strong, yo, we gotta get everybody together. Like you can't tell me Ant-Man made them muds go get all the Kangs. Ant-Man?
We're talking about Ant-Man?
Ant-Man, I'm sitting here, I'm over here being the king of everything. Y'all talking about Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Ant-Man?
And he
Not the Avengers. Not the Avengers. But you get what I'm saying? Like the movie was underwhelming.
Thor comes up and he goes,
"Oh yeah, no, it's
I'm a god. Talk to me. I'm 40,000 years old."
just like Cars. This is nobody's favorite MCU movie. Yeah. Phase 5 should be all up from here.
I think that this movie they missed because they maybe aimed too high.
Yeah.
With going back to She-Hulk, I think they were just aiming at a different audience, and they just didn't want to admit that they wanted to get all. So this is criticism they should take. Now, Miss Marvel, that was a really good show, bro. That was a really good show. Miss Marvel was really, every episode was like really good.
To pass on to the people not listening to this show, don't assume everything from Marvel is the same. Mm-hmm. Not everything's for you.
But I don't think I think it should be though. I think it should be.
Everything should be for everybody?
Well, no, I think if you're a core Marvel fan, every show should be for you.
Okay.
If you dare,
but it wasn't.
Well, I'm saying I ain't saying whether it was or wasn't. I'm saying it should be. What I'm saying is, if you go into this bringing the She-Hulk, you could have did She-Hulk in a better way.
When you say core Marvel fan, you're talking about people who don't look into and don't follow the comics.
I'm talking about that was committed from the first Iron Man to now. that's committed to watch all the shows. Not committed to going into the books and all. I'm talking about committed to watch all the shows. Committed to, you know what I mean, to the MCU. I ain't talking about Marvel. I'm talking about Marvel MCU.
So I think that's a very small percentage of people that are fully committed to watching everything that Marvel has and not willing to look into the comic books.
I think it's a huge percentage that you may not know of, bro. You got to understand.
Well, I don't think that's true.
I think we're breaking down is I think we have a large group of passive Marvel fans.
Yes.
That they will watch whatever comes out, and they won't bother to look it up, but they also won't, like, they'll either flame it or put it on a pedestal.
Yeah.
There's very little in between. Like, it's not quite trolls, but again, they feel they want to get their voice out there. So, like, in stories, a lot of times, why somebody doesn't like a story or doesn't like a movie or a show or whatever is because they can't relate to the main character or relate to one of the main characters. So if you can't find yourself in one of the main characters of Ant-Man, then you're probably not going to enjoy it too much. If you can't find yourself in one of the main characters of, or find some relatability in Miss Marvel, then you're probably not going to enjoy it very much. Same thing with She-Hulk, and same thing with Thor: The Dark World. Again, like fucking Thor 4 still gets a bunch of shit, like, from fans. Like, people still hating on it. So, like, I think a lot of people, if they can't see themselves as one of the characters or find some way to relate to what's going on in the movie, it's hard for some of them to really enjoy it.
I think Thor 4 suffered from a little bit of what Ant-Man suffered from.
Yeah, trying to do too much. Trying to do too much and not do any of it properly. I'll give it that. I mean, there are parts I love about it, and I'll be the one dying on the hill enjoying the fucking goats. But
I thought it was a good movie. I thought it's something I rewatch over and over again throughout history.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as good as Ragnarok.
Strawberry Motion.
Right. It wasn't as good as Ragnarok. But I enjoyed it more than Ragnarok or the first Thor.
I thought Ragnarok was the best one. I thought the first Thor was the second best. I thought the fourth one was the third, and then the second one was the second best. After I went back and seen the second one, because I was really high on the second one.
Wasn't Dark World in like one of your top 10 lists at some point?
Yeah, I was really high on it. I was really high on it.
It is weird how much like continuity stuff came out of that movie, in retrospect.
But if you really think about it, it was the way his mama died. It was so much though, man. It was a lot in there that was like, yo, she had the stuff in her veins and all that.
It's also where she got the cancer that killed her in Thor 4.
Yeah. So it was high. So that movie was more important than y'all think.
It was, which is still terrible. All right, I think that's the episode.
Yeah, I think they missed on this movie a lot. They missed on Ant-Man a lot.
Yeah, well, again, I think it's because they made it too much of a Kang movie and not enough of an Ant-Man movie.
It was a King and Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I would have been for if they would have just like committed to them too.
Well, like I say, it was just they just didn't. They wanted to do a bigger movie than what Ant-Man 3 should have been, and it suffered because of it.
As a person who deals in the duality of Marvel and DC, if you bringing this to my man that's coming a little bit later, huh?
James Gunn.
Who?
Flash coming. Flash is coming. Flash is coming.
Yeah, that's part of the problem.
Flash is finna be amazing. I'm not even finna argue. Because y'all DC haters. I'm not
a DC hater. I was aggressively mad about the trailer.
I've never heard you say anything positive about any of DC movies.
Yes, you have. We were all big fans of Suicide Squad.
Okay, one.
The Suicide Squad. I enjoyed Shazam. I enjoyed Aquaman.
I'm a big fan of Wonder
Aquaman was just a less good version of Ant-Man and the Wasp. The last third of the movie was the same as Ant-Man and the Wasp. They go to this place further below the world, find a mom that's been lost for 30 years, get some stuff, they come back.
Played by a timelessly beautiful actress.
Yeah.
I don't even think that is one of the top movies of the DC.
Aquaman?
I don't think that's one of the top.
It's one of the highest grossing ones.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's like really good.
Oh, this should be good. Okay, what are your top 5 DCEU films? Quick, rapid fire. Come on.
Okay. You put me on
Too
the
long.
spot.
Shazam is
So
one.
I'm gonna go with Shazam. Obviously at number 1. So let me start at 5 and go down.
Go up.
I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna say that the first Superman was so underrated.
Man of Steel, okay.
So underrated. I did like Batman v Superman. Y'all know I love Batman v Superman.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the first Wonder Woman was really good.
I'm
And
getting
then we're
nervous.
gonna go to Shazam at number 1. I'm not gonna tell y'all number 2 because y'all gonna get mad at me.
It's number 2, Wonder Woman 84.
Justice League.
Justice League.
The original?
Which one? The first, second, or
remake.
third one?
The remake.
The Snyder Cut.
The Snyder Cut.
The 4-hour one?
So good.
I mean, it's the best of the 3. Anyways, that's fine. You're welcome to your opinion. This is America.
I'm gonna say. No, I'm not gonna.
There
say
is
that.
good stuff there. Listen, first of all, and again, I'm on record numerous times, on and offline. DC has one of the best catalog of characters that belong in a theater. There is no reason to make a bad Justice League movie.
Nope.
There's no reason to make a mediocre Superman movie. I enjoy Man of Steel. Despite the grimness of it, I enjoy Man of Steel. I was on board for Man of Steel.
I've never heard this take from you.
Because we never talk about Man of Steel because it's fucking forgettable. Remember that? Because it's forgettable, D.
I don't know, it's pretty good to me. I remember everything about it.
It's the best Superman movie of the last 30 years. That don't mean shit. And listen, man, I'll be honest. I think you actually need to leave my house if you think Batman vs Superman is a good movie.
Batman v Superman was serious good.
God.
Why?
Just the whole, the fact that you see Batman and Superman number 1 going at each other. That's beautiful. The fact that you can see actually how, like, Batman would devise a plan to take down a guy, like, that's awesome.
I've seen it. It was better in the comics.
And then it just that perfect lead into the Justice League of him, Batman, Superman dying, and then now they got to bring it back. And
Listen, D.
I'm not here to change our mind.
That's fine, D. Listen, D. I can say that Batman vs Superman ruined 4 different timeless stories.
You can piss in a jar and call it Granny's peach tea. I'm suffering that up.
Besides the fact that
Actual line
they
from that movie.
awkwardly forced in 3 or 4 iconic Batman and Superman stories.
I don't know nothing about them stories.
Besides that, even just being a layman movie watcher, everything happened so quickly, and everything happened because they wouldn't say, like, hey, he's trying to kill my mom. All it would take like 2 seconds to be like, hey, man. And like that, and him stopping makes no sense.
Was the Dark Knight part of the DCU?
The Dark Knight?
No.
The series?
No. The Nolan movies are not part of the DC.
Okay.
No. Technically, the Snyderverse, I think, only has like 5 movies.
I'll ask you one question about Batman vs Superman. Why did Superman die?
What you mean?
Like, why did he die?
Oh, they killed him.
Who killed him?
He took the
Kryptonite Spear.
Kryptonite Spear and
Okay.
killed the other bad guy. What's his name? Doomsday. And
Okay.
then he killed himself at the same time.
How come Wonder Woman couldn't have done that? She has no kryptonite weakness. Why couldn't she have just stabbed Doomsday?
Maybe it happened so fast in battle. Some things happen fast in battle that you can't think.
She told him, no, I'll do it. He told her, no, I'll do it.
Or maybe he felt like he was strong enough.
And on top of that, what do you mean fast in battle? This is the guy who has the reaction speed of light speed and can do.
But maybe he felt like she wasn't strong enough to do it, and he was.
Yeah. He was falling on the ground as he was flying to her.
Huh?
He was falling on the ground as he was flying towards him.
And he's grabbing a fucking
Maybe he
thing.
thought he was gonna die anyway.
But he's grabbing a weapon that's making him actively weaker.
It's fine. Listen, it's fine. You like what you like. That's fine.
But still, he would be stronger than her.
Not necessarily. It depends on how long he's been exposed to the kryptonite.
Like we said,
Then he may not
you
even-
like what
then
you
he could've
like.
died. Maybe
Let's
they
move
just
on.
leaked him.
I think it's been an episode. Join us for the next 12-ish weeks as we just become a Fast and Furious podcast. Sounds good? Sounds good? Sounds good? Sounds good?
We're all about family.
I'm tired.
Which is ironic for me. That's the episode?
Sure.
Love the energy, guys. All right.
I'm tired.
Yeah, you can't just say we're still recording, D. Be professional. All right. Just fuck you guys. Bye.